If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight's one of the greatest nights. Well, it's not one. It is the best Wednesday night conservative radio here on SHR Media. You have me, of course, Reaver of Common Sense. Right after, you will have the Sackheads radio show. It doesn't get any better than that. Oh, and if you want to watch a broadcast, you can. It's very simple to watch a live stream. Just go to shrmedia.com, click on the live watch live button. Or you can just go to YouTube and search for SHR Media. While you're there, don't forget to hit subscribe. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights. I can tell that already. Not enough coffee. So this is how my day went. Got up early. I turned on my filtered water to fill a little bucket I have. Not a bucket, but you know what I mean. And I went and sat on the couch because it usually takes a couple minutes. I fell asleep. I woke up for like another hour or two, sat there, putzed around the house. I went in the kitchen to do something, said, holy shit, why is there water all over the floor? Oh God, what happened to the sink? Oh my God, something busted. And I'm looking around, I'm like, why is there water on top of the counter? Oh, son of a... Yeah, I went and, started that, and, totally forgot to shut it off. And it ran for several hours, all over my floor. So I had to clean up. I felt like a schmuck and a half. Trying to do some, just a simple copy paste. And I'm having a bitch of a time. Oh boy. Don't forget, if you'd be so kind, putting it up on Facebook right now for Reaver of Common Sense and also Jersey Joe's, both Facebook pages. It'll have a link for the GoFundMe. If you would, go check it out. Donate $1 or $2. I'm looking to expand the show and just looking to offset the cost. If you can spare $1 or $2, I'd really appreciate it. And I think we might be able to do something. I have shirts for sale too. So just get a hold of me on Reaver of Common Sense. It's that simple. think tonight. I can't think. That's never a good thing. That is never a good thing when you can't think. And you have a show to do, and your mind's blank. Then again, I am a blonde, so that takes a part of it. Let's see what's going on here. Activity. It's... I tried to set up a little widget on my webpage. That didn't work out too good. It's there, but it doesn't seem to be working. I don't know why, but it's not working. It was a simple copy-paste. But as I said, don't know why it is not working. It no work. What the heck's going on now? I'm done. Oh my God, this is annoying. I still haven't set up a Facebook Messenger on my tablet. And it seems I have the message, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Somebody sent me some old pictures. Back when I was like 18, 19 years old. That's like, holy shit. That was a long time ago. God. Sitting here looking at it going, holy shit, that's my ex-girlfriend. Don't know who that one is. There's me being wild, giving them double fingers. Huh. So, I think we should get on with the news and political talk. Okay, accordingly, a plan has emerged for Never Trump to pop its little ugly head again. It seems that they have a plan, a new movement. Remember, this Never Trump is self-identified conservatives who vowed never to vote for Donald Trump, and even at the price of Hillary Clinton getting elected. We know that plan went to hell, but it seems they're still around and still out to try to take down Trump. Well, they've been around. They didn't totally disappear. They were hyping this whole Russia conspiracy bullshit, and they continue to mock those who dare to support our president. The self-inflated group that sustains Never Trump criticism is that Trump supporters are participating in a cult of personality. Never mind the fact that some of Trump's strongest supporters have had no problem whatsoever in criticizing him for a substantive reason, as in the backlash against his criticism of Attorney General Jeff Sessions. There's a lot of backlash over that. There's a lot. They're not blindly following him. There's a lot that they agree with him on, but they call him out when it's needed. When it comes to Jeff Sessions, to be honest, I am 50-50. I can understand where he shouldn't be calling him out in public, but at the same time, I do like when Trump calls out these politicians in public. He's not afraid to. Jeff Sessions should never, in my opinion, stepped down from the Russian investigation. Just on the basis of Democrats for 8 years never stepped away from anything. So it's, I know that's a bad way to look at it, but this we're better than everybody else, and living to a higher standard is bullshit. So, but this Never Trump, what they're basically going to do is, which I don't think their plan is ever going to work. Well, first of all, Never Trump still believes that they are the unique guardians of conservative orthodox and honest punditry. They think they're the only ones that can decide. They are these degree-wearing people that think, not all people that have degrees think this way, but they think they're smarter and they know better than everybody else because some professor told them they be smart. And I've seen it all through the campaign. And they, the uneducated is voting for Trump. Yeah. I think there was more than just the uneducated. That's still that. Yes, I don't have a degree. My degree is in School of Hard Knocks. And I like how my father put it years ago for him, and I've tried to live by that. Jack of all trades, master of none. But it never trumps. They find a welcome audience in the mainstream media, which has always been willing to give a platform to those conservatives willing to bash other conservatives. They deny that this is the game they are playing because they maintain that Trump is not a real conservative, though he has governed as the most conservative president since Ronald Reagan. They say they praise Trump when he deserves it, though they clearly savor the criticism more. During the campaign, it was clear that much of the momentum behind Never Trump was driven by narcissism as well as a self-interest. Never Trump gambled on a Hillary Clinton victory, preparing to blame Trump supporters and hoping to take revenge. I heard him, once Trump loses, we'll get back control of the party. We'll kick out all these ungrateful, uneducated idiots. I heard that so many times from so many people, how they were going to kick us out once Trump lost. And they guarantee. And there's some of these cocksuckers now who, no, I don't have a problem with Trump. I have one who was a foul-mouthed, filthy son of a bitch. I know I curse and all that. But he attacked and then blocked and cried and whined and said so many things nasty about Donald Trump because he was a Ted Cruz supporter. Now, I didn't do that. I never spoke nasty. No. Yeah, Chuck, that's some bullshit you're spreading right there. I could use that on my flowers. But there's a lot of these Never Trumps that act like that. Now they're kind of, what, huh? In the first moment they get, yeah. Oh, they'll go back and forth depending which way the wind blows. I am a Trump supporter. I don't agree with everything he does. I've called him out on the show on some things. And I support him when I agree with him. Plain and simple. Almost from when he started the campaign, I have been a supporter. At first, I thought it was a joke. But once I realized he was serious, I immediately started backing him. Oh, and if anybody's watching this feed, I'm actually trying to sharpen knives. I suck at it, and I'm trying to teach myself as I got a crap knife. I'm just with 2 stones. Just going along as we talk. So, but what their idea, the path ahead is a conservative primary challenge to Trump in 2020, and the foundation are being laid now. For such a challenge to be successful, Never Trump would have to coalesce around only one candidate, and not to persist as it did throughout 2016 primary with a divided field of contenders. Moreover, Never Trump would not only have to separate Trump from his political base, but also to win the support of that base for its own candidate. That will be particularly difficult as Never Trump has made no secret of its general disdain for Trump supporters. The case Never Trump and its candidate will have to make is that while they are grateful for Trump's success in defeating Hillary Clinton, most of his other achievements for the cause could have been done by any Republican president, and few other Republicans would come with Trump's disadvantage. They have to hope that Democrats continue to flounder so that a primary challenge would not seem a threat to the GOP 2020 prospects as a whole. The biggest problem for Never Trump, however, is the pitiful performance of the Republican Congress, which has been unable to act on its core priority and reinforce the notion that only Trump is strong enough to lead the party. And we've seen that today. We have seen the true faces of a lot of so-called Republicans. Nevertheless, Never Trump sees in 2020 race a reason to persist. It will continue to cast its fight as a principled one. Much of it, however, is about power and revenge. Apparently, Never Trump cannot forgive Trump for winning. Yes, they're still there. They're still whining. And they're still willing to cause issues in elections and throw it to the Democrats so that they can go, "We told you so." That's all they care for at this point. It's Never Trump. They're not conservatives. I don't know what they are. But who was it? Dan the Man Butcher. He made a comment recently. He thinks the way the political atmosphere is, that we're looking at a split of parties. That not only Republican Party, you're going to see Democrat Party break away into several factions, which would be a good thing. We need more than 2 parties. I've said that for a long time now. I honestly think Trump could have broke off on his own and still won. But right now, the atmosphere between the 2 parties and the infighting that's going on, I very well could agree and see that the parties break off into smaller factions. Doesn't mean they won't help vote each other, but you have a lot of different ideas going on. Democrat Party's broken up to like 2, 3. And the Republican Party, yeah, about 2, 3, maybe 4. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. But I've been saying it for a long time now. We need more than a two-party system. The two-party system is what's hurting us. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. I feel like I'm buttering my stone. Putting oil on the stone. Oh. I am so sick of some of these Republicans. And it's a good thing, but at the same time, it's a bad thing. We have so many cooks, and I don't think enough servers. And if you don't know what that means, we got too many chiefs and not enough Indians when it comes to the Senate. Too many people want to throw their ideas and have every little thing in there. And I know some ways that's the way it's supposed to work, but sometimes you need a couple of Indians to just sit back. But everybody wants to put their hands into this health bill, and it's getting it worse and worse and worse. But we'll get more to that in a little bit. That was just on my mind. I love this. A federal court strikes down the D.C. anti-concealed carry law. Now this, if it upholds, because I'm sure it's going to go up further, is going to be able to help other states. A federal appeals court reportedly ruled on Tuesday that a Washington, D.C. law requiring people to prove they have a proper reason for a concealed carry gun permit is unconstitutional. And if you don't know what that is, they need a reason like, okay, my ex has been threatening me. I run a jewelry store. Not because, well, I want to protect myself just in case I am robbed or mugged or attacked. That's not a reason. You have to have a credible threat when it comes to these laws. And saying it's your constitutional right is not an acceptable reason. Which is amazing. A U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia ruled that the law, which requires people to show proper reason to fear injury in order to carry a firearm, is unconstitutional and a violation of D.C.'s residents' Second Amendment rights. According to the law, acceptable reason to get a permit includes jobs that require employees to protect valuables or if an individual had been threatened. The court's divided three-judge panel overruled several lower courts which disagreed on the constitutionality of the law. Judge Karen Henderson dissented, saying the law was constitutional. Washington Attorney General told NBC4 that Washington mayor will fight for common sense gun rules alongside the D.C. City Council. The District of Columbia's good reason requirement for a concealed carry permit is a common sense gun regulation, and 4 federal appeal courts have rejected challenge to similar laws in other states. The city can ask the full appeals court to review the ruling. We need SCOTUS to rule on this once and for all. They have been skirting this issue and not taking it up for a while now. This has been in lawsuits in New Jersey, it's California, and now Washington, D.C. I know there's other states, I just can't think of them off the top of my head. We need to get this ruled on by the top court system. Once and for all. And get it done with. It is our right. What the hell just happened there? It is our right to be able to protect ourselves. Our goddamn politicians who make these rules are protected. Why aren't we? What the hell's going on with my mic? It's a simple idea. We're not asking for anything out of the ordinary. Let me tell you, concealed carry isn't as easy as people think it is. Especially you have laws that even accidental exposure is against the law. I'm for open carry. I don't give a shit. You want to see I'm carrying? You want to try to come grab it? It's not going to work out good for you. I hate that argument. Well, they know you have it and they can sneak up and grab it. Well, you know what? Most people know when you're concealed carrying too. Because you usually have a big bulge going on. And if you have bulges in those areas, that is not a good thing. The ones that get away with it the most are the women because they got those purses to hide in. Some of them, they have those bra holsters. But for me, I'm a big guy. I'm fat and trying to cover up that gun usually gets caught in a few folds and really hurts. Open carry I think it would be safer and easier. That's all. And these laws, for years now, we've had a bunch of liberals that have been getting appointed to these positions, and finally Trump's quietly filling these federal judgeships with conservatives. There's a lot of these that are getting placed, and nobody knows. Because they're not reporting on it. But there's a massive vacancy for judges. And he's filling them with conservatives. That right there is a success for his presidency. And most people don't know about it. Why? Because the news isn't reporting on it. And you know what? Keep it quiet. It's not being made a major issue, so he's able to accomplish it with ease. So I'm just do it in the background. Be quiet about it. And when you get it all done, go, hey, guys, while you were arguing over Russia, this is what I did. And they're going to be, holy shit, he got a lot of stuff done. But we didn't hear about it. No, because the media did not cover it. And they're doing more harm to their own side. You would think they'd want that out there, and hey, look what he's doing, oh my God. Try to get some pressure to get some moderate judges in place. You know, I don't know why I don't want them doing that, but you know what? It's like, holy shit, these people aren't the brightest. They're not watching to see what he's doing while they're arguing over Russia and, you know, all this other peddly bullshit. I mean, they're arguing over Donald Jr.'s 20-minute meeting, but they're not talking about Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the shitstorm that she's a part of. Now, the FBI is reportedly investigating several smashed hard drives seized from the home of two Pakistani-born brothers who worked as IT workers for former DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. The suspects in this probe are people who worked for a long time for Democratic members in the House. Brother's name, Imran Awana. Yeah, just the last names are Iwan. And I went so far away. Sorry. Last name is Awan. Now, the one brother, Imran. I got to bring the other wife up to see how that's said. I'm really curious how that is said. I'm laughing about that. I went so far away. I gotta get away. Oh, and I can sing better than that. I'm just being a smart ass with it. And I went so far away. Where is it? All right. Let's see how to say these names.
Imran Awan.
Amwan worked for Debbie Wasserman Schultz for a long time. It was previously reported that a federal employee with knowledge of the situation told the Daily Caller in May a laptop used by Iwan was hidden in an unused crevice of the Rayburn House office building, was found by Capitol Police and seized for use in a criminal investigation against him. The Daily Caller further noted Wasserman Schultz's office is in Longworth House office building, a separate structure. I think this is the same laptop that she threatened the chief, the Capitol Police chief, to get him fired if he did not turn that laptop over immediately. There was an active investigation even back then, and they were holding on to the laptop. And she threatened his job. And that is obstructing. She was threatening a police chief to turn over evidence or she would get him fired. That is obstructing. But I don't hear a single fucking Democrat crying about that. Do you? Because I don't. Shortly after the laptop was seized, Wasserman Schultz reportedly threatened Capitol Police with consequences if they did not return the equipment that she said belonged to her and was being used. And was being used to Iwan. It was previously reported that the Pakistani-born Awan, who was working as a technology administrator for the Florida lawmaker, is being investigated for allegedly involvement in several mass cybersecurity breaches and transferring sensitive congressional data off-site. Awan had reportedly managed to bankroll $4 million for himself and several of his relatives since 2010. Shortly after news of the FBI investigation broke on Tuesday, several media outlets learned that Iwan was arrested at Dulles Airport Monday night trying to flee the United States. He was arrested for multiple counts of bank fraud and surrendered his passport. And it was stated that the other night when that happened, these are just basic charges put against him to hold him. Everything else will be added at a later time. And this guy worked for multiple Democrats, not just Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And him and his family had access to a massive amount of data. And just the other day, one of the houses they lived in, they rented it out to, I think the guy is a Marine, when he came across multiple hard drives that were stored at the house, laptops, and other material that was smashed with a hammer, which has now been turned over to federal law enforcement. And when that happened, it was like the day after, that's when Awan tried to run away. So, we'll talk more on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, we've expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday when I'm not out of focus. Oh my God, I'm blurry. All right, let's see if this fixes it. Every now and then the camera just makes me all blurry. Or it's just me. Or it's just me. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Back and focused. Focused. So the Daily Caller said one of the allegations against the brothers Awan was that they were sending information to an offsite server, and when you look at their background, these guys have been accused of fraud repeatedly in civil lawsuits. Wasserman Schultz, much to the confusion of the public, reportedly fought with Capitol Police to allow the brothers to gain access to their laptops instead of expressing concern over the fact that her IT personnel were allegedly hacking sensitive information. The Daily Caller had reported that Wasserman Schultz explicitly protected Awan when news of the scandal first broke. Now, this has been going on for months. Months this has been going on. Now that he's finally been arrested, now Wasserman Schultz has fired Awan after he was arrested at a Virginia airport where he was attempting to fly to Pakistan. Wasserman Schultz spokesman says Awan was fired by the Florida Democrat on Tuesday. Awan's attorney confirmed that his client was arrested at Dulles Airport Monday. He says Awan was cleared to travel and had informed the House of his plans to visit his family before the scheduled trip. The lawyer says the federal bank fraud count stems from a modest real estate matter and is motivated by anti-Muslim bigotry. He's confident Awan will soon be able to clear his name and get on with his life. An arraignment is scheduled for August 21st. But this is what I love. This is what I love. There has been more than just this bank fraud against him. They have other information and charges that are going to be placed against them. But immediately the lawyer comes out and goes, because the anti-Muslim bigotry. Not because he probably broke the law. Not because he had access to a lot of sensitive equipment and data. No, they're doing it just because they don't like Muslims. So if you're Muslim now, you can go and commit any fucking crime you want. All you have to say is, it's because I'm Muslim. That's why they're charging me. And I wonder if it is actually true that he had informed and was cleared to travel, or was he attempting to flee after the smashed hard drives were turned over? Because also, he was threatening the people that rented that he wanted them after it was turned over to federal authorities. So, something's not smelling right. There's smashed equipment, smashed hard drive, and it's funny how a lot of these hard drives that the Democrats say were destroyed when it comes to Hillary's information and the DNC and all this, and all of a sudden they're finding smashed hard drives. It makes me really wonder what the hell is going on here. I mean, 2 plus 2 is adding up to 3. I don't know. But like I said, Debbie Wasserman Schultz has obstructed at every level with former IT staffer Awan. As it broke on Wednesday, the news, Wednesday's broadcast of Fox Business Network's Morning with Maria, RNC chair Ronna Romney McDaniel stated that former DNC chair Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz conducted in the case of former staff Awan amounts to obstruction on a matter that potentially impacts national security. We already know they're willing to do she's willing to do underhanded items. She's willing to sabotage campaigns, amongst other things. Remember, this is the woman that had to resign in disgrace as the head of the DNC chair. So it's not like we don't have a history of her doing anything illegal. McDaniels said, "We have to go to get to the bottom of this, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz has obstructed at every level on something that affects potentially our national security. So to have this gentleman try and leave the country yesterday, and now we know there's bank fraud, and we know he destroyed these hard drives. When you talk to people, when you read the story about the Marine that found them in the apartment he was trying to rent. I mean, it's a long story, but it's something we have to get to the bottom of. We're not hearing the Democrats talk about it at all. Where's Debbie Wasserman Schultz? We also need to know why the DNC never turned over their hard drives to the FBI to review as to their hacking." And that's the one I've always asked. Where are those hard drives? Why didn't the FBI investigate those hard drives? I've never heard of an FBI investigation where an outside source, besides request of FBI, an outside source did the investigation, then said, "Here you go," and they based their evidence on a piece of paper that they can't confirm. That's why you'll never see any charges with Russia going on. You'll never see any definitive over the DNC. Because, first of all, never happened. Number two, there's no evidence. Why? Because this whole story started 2 years ago. Because Hillary Clinton that was her weakness, was Russia. Because she sold uranium, 20% of the U.S. uranium, to Russia. And now we're hearing there is an investigation. I have that article for later. Let me see where it is. It's going to be towards the end of the show, but Congress is digging into DNC Ukrainian connections. Now, when it comes to Ukrainian connection, the company that investigated the hack has ties to Ukraine and has already falsely accused Russia of hacking when they didn't do the hacking. This all smells fishy. Now, the question is, since they say that Russia interfered so bad, do you actually think any of this would be going on right now if Hillary Clinton had won? There'd be no investigation. But according to them, Russia still interfered. They were saying it prior to the election. But you would not have seen any investigation had Hillary won. Because the last thing she'd want to do is piss Russia off. Yep, that didn't work. $140 million was given to Hillary Clinton's, the Clinton Foundation, from Russia after the sale of 20% of our uranium stockpile. Now, yes, it took several departments to sign off on that sale. How many other departments, families, got $140 million? There needs to be some investigations, but not into this Trump-Russia bullshit. Because that's all that is bullshit. Nothing more, nothing less. I can cut through paper very easily with this knife, but I could literally run my finger over it. Here. Nothing. I think I need to go back to the rough stone. Get the flat part all nice and sharp. I'm just, this whole, and I gotta talk about it, unfortunately, this whole Russia bullshit. I do. I don't want to, but I do. It's a joke. It really is. The DNC has got their hands into some legal activity, and I'll be more than glad to come out and say that they got their hands in some legal activity, and I think now they're running scared because they're not protected like they were for 8 years. They got away with whatever they wanted for 8 years underneath Obama, and now they're scrambling, and they have to point the fingers to other places to keep the eyes off of them. So it's, I don't know. Our government is pretty fucked up right now. And it's going to take a lot of work. And it doesn't look like the Republican Party wants to help clean it up. Because some of them in the Republican Party are right along in bed with the Democrats. And I'm pointing the finger at McCain. I'm pointing the finger at Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, John Kasich. And no, I don't think Cruz is. Cruz's mistake, he was getting along with Trump. But somebody got in his ear and thought it would be good to go toe-to-toe with Trump. That was his mistake during the campaign. That was his mistake. So, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Reaver of Common Sense has expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, don't forget to go to Facebook, which is at Jersey Joe Talks. You can catch me at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Jersey Joe Talks. But go to Facebook, click on the GoFundMe, and take a look. I'm looking for a little help to help with the, well, of course, help. I'm looking for help. But to cover the cost of expanding the show. I don't have sponsors. What I'm hoping for is some nice people come along and help me out. Not asking for a lot. $1, $2, whatever you can spare. Even a share would be greatly appreciated. It's not easy running these shows. Not easy being cheesy. So, Cal X2 is upon us. For the second time in less than a year, the California exit effort in California will gather signatures for the right to succeed from the United States. According to the Sacramento Bee, California's Attorney General granted the remaining Cal X group the right to gather signatures to put a referendum on the ballot. The state attorney general issued an official ballot measure, title, and summary Tuesday. The campaign can now start gathering more than 585,000 signatures it will need to qualify for the 2018 ballot. The initiative would form a commission to recommend avenues for California to pursue its independence and delete part of the state's constitution that says it is an inseparable part of the United States. The measure would also instruct the governor and California congressional delegation to negotiate more autonomy for the state. This will be the second attempt. Hey, Dan. This will be the second attempt to put a succession measure on the 2018 ballot. The first attempt failed and was withdrawn from consideration in April. The original initiative was clouded by rumors of Russian involvement and irreconcilable difference among leadership. Now, what happened is the leader, guess what? He moved to Russia. He now lives in Russia. The Cali exit was started by someone who loved Russia. Now, what's funny is they don't want to fully succeed. And if they want more autonomy. So, in other words, they want the federal protection that the United States can give them. But they don't want anything. They want to govern themselves. So they want all the good, but the rest of it, they don't want any part of. Well, you're either all or nothing. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. I'm telling you, Dan, you got, well, I don't know if you can. That's right. It's on, a blog? That's why I like my WordPress. You got all these little widgets and add-ons to do everything for me. Besides going to SHR, if you go to Reaver.1 and you click on the SHR TV button, you could also go and see all the live streams that are playing. And if there's no one online, it will broadcast old video, old shows. I love that program. I don't have to do anything. It's all done automated in the background. All right, this latest initiative, which will be titled California Autonomy from Federal Government, according to the press release, must gather the 585,000 valid signature to qualify for the 2018 ballot. The Los Angeles Times is reporting that CalX 2, as it's come to be known, has been modified substantially from the original CalX effort. The proposal scales back from an initially more aggressive version, would direct California's governor to negotiate more autonomy from the federal government, including potentially put forward a ballot measure to declare independence. The initiative wouldn't necessarily result in California exiting the country, but it would allow the state to be fully functioning sovereignty and autonomy nation within the United States. The fiscal impact study conducted by the state of California, according to the Times, says it would cost more than $1.25 million per year for an advisory commission to assist the governor on California's independence, plus unknown potential major fiscal effects if California voters approve changes to the state's relationship with the United States at a further election after the approval of this measure. The hissy fit continues. And that's all this is. I've never been a big one, even with Texas. Sorry, Dan. Trying to succeed. Or any other state. Florida has talked about it. We are the United States. Just because we have issues doesn't mean we run. I don't know. It's not the way you handle the problems. Sessions to announce investigation into intelligent leaks, sources say. Attorney General Jeff Sessions will soon announce several criminal leak investigations. The U.S. official familiar with the discussion said Tuesday that the planned announcement surrounding stepped-up effort on leak investigation has been in the works for some time and will most likely happen sometime in the next week. The news comes in the wake of days of intense pressure on Sessions, with President Trump lashing out and expressing his disappointment with the Attorney General through tweets, interviews, and news conference. The investigation will look at news reports that publicize sensitive, intelligent material, according to officials who have been briefed on the matter. Meanwhile, it appears that Sessions has no plan to step down at this point. A source familiar with the conversation tells Fox News that Sessions' Chief of Staff, Jody Hunt, recently told White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus that the Attorney General had no intention of resigning. Trump said Tuesday that Sessions has not been tougher on leaks from the intelligence community. I want the Attorney General to be much tougher, Trump said. I want the leaks from internal agencies, which are leaking like rarely have they ever leaked before, at a very important level. These are intelligence agencies. We cannot have that happening. Now, I know sometimes people don't agree with how Trump goes about it, but this is something that should have been done a little bit sooner. We've had some massive leaks, and they need to jump on it and start investigating. And you let them know that the investigation has started, and you might, just by that alone, stop some of the leaks. BC, what's going on, brother? So, Anthony Scaramucci, Trump's new communication director, said Tuesday that he was prepared to fire everybody to stop unauthorized information coming from the press office. The BZ, what is it? Guten Abend, Sir Joe. And I don't know. It just gluten. I was thinking gluten. My mind goes in all different weird ways. Speaking to reporters, Scaramucci said that he was not doing investigation. If you're not in chat, you need to get in chat because when you get BZ here, it's funny as hell. Not doing an investigation. I'm not going to get the leaking to stop. He stressed that he had the authority from the president to do that. Or excuse me, he's not doing an investigation. I'm just going to get the leaking to stop. Hey, if you need to fire everybody and start over, go right ahead. You're either going to stop leaking or you're going to get fired, Scaramucci said. Start arresting them, not just firing them. Especially on the intel side. Make sure it's nice and publicized. Arrest them. Make them do the perp walk. All right. Oh, mamma mia, Figaro. Beelzebub. For me. All right. Dang it, BZ. You got my mind kind of like off on a, shit. Damn, I can't remember the name of the movie. Oh my God, my mind's going totally blank. Wayne's World. Oh, shit. Now, yeah. Scaramucci, can you do the fandango? Thunderbolts of lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo. Figaro. All right. All right, we're going to take an early break while I try to get back. Rock on. Swing. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. And we will be right back. And yes, I got a mouse in my pocket.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. All right, I got the laughter under control. Sometimes you just gotta let loose. So, kind of 50-50 on what's going on in the Senate. I don't even want to say 50-50 because I want to see Obamacare repealed. So I'm not happy when I read that the total repeal vote was shot down. And not shot down because none of the Democrats jumped over the aisle. Shot down because Republicans jumped the aisle. After all that bluster to vote during elections, elect us, we'll repeal, we will repeal. Senator Paul's bill failed 45-55. 7 moderate Republican senators voted against the clean repeal bill. The Senate continues to try to coalesce around an Obamacare repeal compromise bill. Paul called the bill Obamacare Repeal Reconciliation Act of 2017. Senator Paul's consistently opposed the leadership's health care bill, the Medicare Reconciliation Act. The BCRA failed to pass through a procedural vote Tuesday night in the Senate. Paul offered his clean Obamacare repeal bill that would repeal large sections of Obamacare. The bill, basically, this is just outright bullshit. Bullshit. This is what they were voted in to do. Repeal Obamacare. Not to play patty cakes. They were there to repeal it. This would not end it overnight. I believe it was a 2-year process to phase it out. It would be 2 years on the clock for the Republicans to come up with a replacement bill. But no. This bill is a clean repeal, though only a partial repeal. Arcane Senate rules prevent a complete repeal from being considered today. So this bill is just the beginning. This bill begins to unravel the nightmare of Obamacare. This is what Senator Paul wrote. Let me be very clear. Large part of Obamacare remains after this repeal bill today. What this bill does, though, is force both sides to come together to find a bipartisan solution during the 2-year transition. The bill gives us a 2-year window for both sides of the aisle to come together to discover how we can get more insurance for more people for less cost. The Kentucky senator argued that even with Obamacare, 27 million Americans cannot obtain health care insurance, and that half of those citizens cannot get insured because it remains too expensive. Paul contends that Congress should change insurance regulations to allow small businesses, credit unions, and professional associates to create insurance pools that would increase coverage and lower cost. In a way, Paul's bill serves as a litmus test for Republican senators on repealing Obamacare. All current GOP senators, except for Senator Susan Collins, voted for a similar Obamacare repeal bill in 2015. Only Senator Collins and Lisa Murkowski voted against the motion to start a debate on repealing Obamacare on Tuesday. Paul's bill will show how many senators truly want to repeal Obamacare. I'm pissed. What is it, 7 senators? 7 Republican senators jumped the aisle. I know John McCain was one of them. Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski. Dean Heller, Shelley Caputo, Susan Collins, John McCain, Lamar Alexander, Lisa Murkowski, and Rob Portman voted against the repeal bill. But in 2015, they all voted to rescind Obamacare. They knew Obama was going to veto it, so they didn't have to worry about it back then. Now they know that if they vote for it, it was going out the window with Trump. So they showed their true colors. Senator Republicans will continue to offer different amendments and substitute legislation to try to come around a compromise Obamacare repeal and replace bill. Many analysts speculate that the Senate will try to pass a skinny repeal bill that would repeal Obamacare's individual and employer mandate, as well as the Affordable Care Act medical tax, after which Congress can create a conference committee between the House and Senate to reconcile the difference between the House-passed American Health Care Act and the bill that passed through the upper chamber. Senator Paul contends that even after repealing Obamacare, he remains committed to working with his Senate colleagues to replace Obamacare with a free market alternative. It pisses me off. Those 7 senators need to have their ass primaried. I just saw Melanie, one of the great hosts of SHR Media. She retweeted a Larry Elder. What, no special counsel for Chinagate, Fast and Furious, Rhodes's Iran deal lie, IRS, Lerner, Hillary Clinton, Espionage Act, Foundation Pay or Play. The list goes on and on and on and on. We're special counsel for Benghazi, Emailgate. That's because most of these Republicans don't have the balls to stand up. That's why I have no problem with Trump the way he does it. May not be politically correct. It may not be, and I don't mean politically correct as in you can't say certain things. I mean within political realms, the correct way of doing things. Kel, if you're listening, I didn't. I just noticed that you're watching through YouTube, and no, I didn't notice any comments being put up on YouTube. I don't have that chat. There's so many chat rooms. It gets so confusing. I didn't even know there was a chat room for that. Sorry, Kel. Now, I know BZ is going to go off about this either tonight or tomorrow night on BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, or tonight for the Sackheads radio show, which will be coming up in about 29 minutes. Hey, ACAG. AKE. How you doing, sir? Glad you're here. We voted these Republicans. They screamed, put us in charge, we'll get rid of Obamacare. We put them in charge. They didn't get rid of Obamacare. We need the presidency. Give us the presidency, and we will get rid of Obamacare. We give them the presidency, and we still have Obamacare. What more? What more do we have to do? Well, I know what we have to do. We have to get in some senators, congressmen all around, that are going to do what they say they're going to do. Primary their asses. Yeah, no more transgens in the military. That was a distraction and just a social experiment by Obama, just to gain popularity. What does it affect? 200, 300 people in the military compared to the several million that are in there? That's a minor. To me, that's minor. I know some people don't see it as minor. To me, that's a minor issue with everything going on. I don't agree with, I'm in the military, and I think I'm the other sex, so the military and the American people have to pay for my sex change. That I don't agree with outright. At 3,000 to 4,000? I only heard a couple hundred. But it's still... to me, that's a minor issue. And you probably have a different opinion being retired than I do. I wasn't in the military, and thank you for your service. I did EMS and fire. I actually got yelled at by a Marine the other day because he asked me if I served, and I said no. I said when I turned 16, I went in the fire company, and he yelled at me. He said no, that I served in a different way. I didn't go military, but I still served the country by volunteering and being on EMS and fire, which kind of like hearing that from a military personnel always, and it's not the first time. I've heard it other times, and it makes me, it puts a smile on my face, makes me feel good. I know that maybe I'm not saying it right. It's with everything else going on, Obama pretty much only did that to gain a social leg up. I can see where it's a distraction in the military. I can see that. And the military is there to win wars, not popularity contest. So I could see where that is a good thing of no trans in the military. That's my opinion. I've been known to be wrong. But then I tell my wife I'm never wrong. So you see how that goes. I was an EMT for 20-some years. I volunteered for a majority of it. I made my way up to deputy chief. As a volunteer, I was a deputy chief, and that's a bitch and a half. Especially when you got a bunch of people, well, I volunteer, you can't tell me what to do. Oh, God. Yes, I miss those days, but those days are gone. Those days are long gone, and it's the camaraderie. At least where I'm at here in Tampa, Florida, it's not much camaraderie anymore. It's for them, they worry more about their physique and what papers they have with them, what training. Programming note, Sackheads will not be on air tonight. They will return next week. So, I miss the camaraderie too. I really do. It's you get done shift and you all go out and have a good time. You stuck together. You had each other's back. I don't see that nowadays. But, let's see. I mean, I still have friends, and they still got my back. I got their backs. So I talked about it briefly. Trump is not alone. Congress digging into the DNC-Ukraine connection. The Republicans in Congress have joined the White House in asking questions about the extent to which the Democrat Party consultant may have worked with Ukrainian officials to hurt then-candidate Donald Trump's presidential bid last year. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley wrote a letter earlier this week to the Justice Department asking whether the Democratic National Committee broke the law. Man, I think I got a soundbite, too. I might have a soundbite. Woo! Trying to get all professional-like. Yeah, I think I do. Might take a minute for it to load up. Then always a commercial that could pop up. Give me 1 second. Come on. Come on. It's thinking right now. Well, it may not be. I thought it had Grassley talking. I could have sworn. I could have sworn I had with Grassley. Dang it. I don't seem to have it. What the hell is downloading? Oh, come on. All right. Sorry about that. I thought I had a soundbite. That's not good. Grassley, a Republican from Iowa, specifically asked if the DOJ was investigating Alexandria Chalupa, a Ukrainian-American DNC consultant who allegedly had meetings at the Ukrainian embassy. Oh my God, now all of a sudden I can't talk. In Washington, D.C. to discuss incriminating information about Trump campaign officials. President Trump, trying furiously to tamp down the controversy over alleged Russian coordination with his associates, has questioned why the same scrutiny is not being applied to the Democrats' alleged Ukraine connection. In a Tuesday tweet, he complained about the lack of an investigation into Ukraine efforts to sabotage his campaign. You have Hillary Clinton herself, and I played the clip yesterday. I know I have that clip. I may not. No. Shit. I gotta stop doing it. I'm deleting files. Hillary Clinton herself spoke about how world leaders were contacting her and they want to know how they can help stop Trump. Well, to talk about more of this on the other side of the break, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, thank you, Dan. I'm always worried about that. I'm always checking in. I know my video feed the other day had me pissed off. Because it just did not come out right. It was very echoey. And the next day it was perfectly fine, so I don't know what's up. That's why I'm doing the GoFundMe to upgrade cables and all that, and those cables get really expensive. I couldn't believe the cost of those cables. But that's for a different discussion. And remember to go to Facebook at Jersey Joe Talks and check out what my postings, hit like, keep up to date, and also go to the GoFundMe and just $1 or $2. So, I had a funny feeling you were the special guest last night, Dan. I had a funny feeling, but I wasn't sure. I couldn't stick around. I had some things I had to get done before trying to get some sleep. My sleep has been all messed up of late. Speaking of the ban for the transgender, Tucker had a guest, and they went back and forth on it. Let me play that clip for you. It's Tucker versus Maloney on transgender military debate. Come on.
Have you ever...
Oh, God, I hate these to pop up. They always pop up. Now, if I hit play and kept everything muted, it would have went right into the discussion. But now that I wanted it, had it all set up to go, of course, it's going to play an ad. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1...
In a surprise announcement this morning, President Trump reversed the previous administration's order to admit transgendered individuals into the military. The president made the announcement on Twitter in the AM. He tweeted this: after consultation with my generals and military experts, be advised the U.S. government will not accept nor allow transgendered individuals to serve in the U.S. military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with tremendous costs and medical disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Thank you. Democrats were not grateful for that. They quickly became very angry. Here's part of what they said.
This disgusting ban will weaken our military and land that it defends.
Our nation is not safer when we sanction discrimination.
Because of President Trump's announcement, America will be less safe.
The President of the United States this morning announced he is blowing 15,000 holes in our military readiness.
It's undermining, I think, our national defense.
This disgusting action endangers the lives of
There's that
American
many
service members and makes our country less safe.
Congressman Sean Patrick Maloney represents New York in the House of Representatives, and he joins us tonight. Congressman, thanks a lot for coming on. So I understand why people don't like this. But to not like it and to claim that it makes our country less safe are two different things. How does this make our country less safe?
Well, how about SEAL Team 6?
Okay.
I think you'd agree they make our country more safe. So Kristen Beck, member of SEAL Team 6, she's a transgender woman, 7 combat tours, earned the Bronze Star with Valor and a Purple Heart. She's done a hell of a lot more for our country than you and I ever will. And she made our country safer. That's the person we're going to remove from military service.
I don't think she served as a transgender SEAL, though.
No, but there are thousands of transgender service members serving honorably and meeting the tests, the high tests that the military expects of its service members. We should absolutely use the standard the president started with, which is keeping our country safe. And part of keeping our country safe is keeping good people in the military. These are good people.
Right. Well, transgenders have never been allowed to serve openly and to have their transitions paid for by the U.S. government. This is something that began in a gradual way with the Obama administration. This country's been around for almost 250 years, winning a bunch of wars. That's not a slight on any specific person. I'm merely skeptical at why this makes our country less safe. I don't actually think that you can show that. I think you're just mad about it, and you're using our national security to make your point.
Well, look,
there are exactly what they're doing.
People serving honorably.
It's the fear.
We won a bunch of wars.
The sky's falling. The sky's falling. That's all we hear out of them.
With African Americans, and we won a bunch of wars without women serving. But we have an enormous number of talented, diverse people serving. We wouldn't believe we were more safe because we excluded whole groups of Americans. And look, the point is that right now, thousands of transgender service members are serving with distinction. And there's not a reason on earth that you would kick them out of the military except for prejudice, and that's wrong.
That's just, that's just a silly thing to say. I mean, this is a legitimate debate, and for you to say anyone who doesn't agree with you is a bigot. I mean, there's a massive... Wait, hold on, slow down.
Well, I didn't say that,
yes,
but
you did.
I said that the reason would be
Yes, you did. You said
prejudice.
the only reason is prejudice.
Right.
In other words, if you disagree with me, being a holy man, you're a bad person. My only point is there are two sides to this. There's a cost to this. There are difficulties integrating people. There are questions about what it means to be transgender. These are real adult questions, and you're blowing them off by describing anyone who doesn't agree with you as motivated by prejudice, and that's childish.
What is the reason for taking members of the military who are serving now, thousands of them, with distinction, without a problem, and kicking them out on this basis? What would that reason be?
Well, I mean, the reason is articulated by the people who oppose this is that it's expensive to pay for the physical transition, the medical transition from one sex to the other.
I second that comment in chat.
And that paying that at a time when the military is scrambling for funds is a distraction from the core mission, which is winning wars.
Right. Well,
the onus is on you, since the U.S. military has never had this policy in its history, to show that paying for sex change operations is going to somehow make us more likely to beat, I don't know, Al-Qaeda.
No, excuse me. We have that policy now, and we've had more than a year to see how it works, and there hasn't been any diminishment of readiness or any disruption of any kind. And what we know is men like Shane Ortega, another transgender service member, who conducted hundreds of missions in Afghanistan and Iraq, multiple combat tours.
As a transgender person? No, that's not true.
Yes, as a matter of fact. And there are right now people like Riley Dosh, a cadet, who just graduated from the military academy at West Point.
What you're engaging in is demagoguery. I'm asking you bigger, broader questions, which is it an actual concern that the Pentagon would have to pay for sex change operations? Do you think that's a valid military expense?
Well, would you
Do you think these are real questions about how to integrate people in close quarters living who haven't fully transitioned? To blow those off as like bigotry is just wrong.
Well, I think to be fair, we've spent years studying this. Rand Commission did a big report on this.
You haven't spent years studying this.
Well, actually, the Obama administration did exactly that.
This is brand new.
The Rand Corporation study looked at this in detail before they changed the policy. We now have a year of experience. And by the way, under your argument, you could also say, women may get pregnant, and they may incur additional medical costs. So we shouldn't allow women to serve in the military.
But I would say, first of all, I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing something very specific, so don't liken it to another argument. Second, any question that bears on military readiness is a direct question. I'm a patriotic person. I would love to serve the country. I'm too old. It takes me 27 minutes to run 5K. I'm not qualified. So the question is not what's empowering for me, it's what's good for the national defense. And that's not the lens through which you're looking at this.
But Kristen Beck is qualified. and performed heroically on SEAL Team 6.
Look, I'm not attacking Kristen Beck. I'm merely saying Kristen Beck was not.
Excuse me, you are directly attacking.
You know what? I think it's very frustrating speaking with ideologues like you because everything you disagree with is an attack on someone.
Tucker,
I am not attacking Kristen Beck.
You are defending a policy that would remove a decorated member of SEAL Team 6 from the United States military. If that's not an attack, sir, I don't know what is.
You are an extremist posing as a rational person. Well,
that's all the left have anymore, is if you would disagree, they got to attack you for it to try to silence you.
You should be ashamed for using such a low tactic in what I'm trying to make a rational conversation.
It is a fact that
I'm
a woman named Kristen Beck would not be allowed to have performed her service,
as a transgender
which
person
also means
in
that
combat.
the taxpayers incurred no health care costs associated with that, which is also a fact that is at play here. The fact of the matter
is why we can't solve problems, because people who yes, it is. Because what you're doing is spewing propaganda and saying, no, because I'm asking honest questions, and you're throwing back dumb propaganda in my face and calling me a bigot.
I think you have to own the implications of the position you support. And it would mean that people who are serving with distinction are being separated from the military for an arbitrary reason.
This is why.
And it's wrong.
Okay, I'll tell you why. This is why the Pentagon didn't announce it themselves today. Because this policy has very limited support in the Pentagon, but they're afraid because of demagogues like you
that
they're going to be attacked for saying what is obvious, which is the point of the military is to win wars. And saying that will get people like you to call them bigots, so they don't want to say it.
That's my standard.
Right.
We want a military that's going to win wars, and the people who are serving with distinction are part of that. And by the way, they're earning those benefits that we're providing to them.
Right.
They're earning it by putting their lives on the line. And they're doing more than you and I ever will to protect our country. And before we go after them,
stop your demagoguery. I've had enough.
I think you should own.
Thanks, Congressman.
It is tiresome. And I know the guys in the chat, I'm pretty sure, get tired of that also. When you try to have a discussion, that's how you move forward. You have a discussion. But immediately, the left goes into attack. They start accusing you of being bigot, racist, any of the phobias or the isms, to try to silence you. They cannot argue with facts. They can only argue by trying to silence you. I've been saying it for a while now. This is why we can't get things to go forward, because of the attacks that happen. There's no conversation. We can't have an honest-to-God conversation about anything in this country, because as soon as you say something that disagrees with these snowflake little pussies, they go into, well, as I'm name-calling, I understand, but you know what? I'm giving a description of them. Yeah, I had the mic on the whole time. I'm sorry if you could hear me. That's why if I wanted to comment on what I was playing, it is absolutely tiresome when you try to have a conversation and all they want to do is throw hissy fits to get their way. It's their way or no way. Well, you got a lot of people that are getting tired of that. And a lot of people are starting to fight back. And if you notice, people aren't being quiet anymore. They're coming right back. They're attacking right back. As I said, I don't think this is a huge issue that... I think, again, Trump's playing the media. He did this more to the effect to distract the media, get them to do what he wanted them to do. He probably wanted the attacks off his son for a little bit. So he does this and plays puppet master with the media. And now the Democrats are going to run after that for a while. In the meantime, like I said earlier, he's appointing federal judges. Because there's a lot of open federal judgeships. And he's putting conservatives in those spots. But you don't hear about it. Because the mainstream media and Democrats are too busy talking about social issues. He's getting his agenda done. Just some of the big things just haven't got through just yet. A lot of the little stuff he's been pushing in the background while everybody's been playing Russia, Russia, Russia. And with that, I'll be back tomorrow. I want to thank everybody in the chat room, BZ, HP Pundit Dan, AKCOG. I want to thank everybody. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news.